Hello and welcome to Breaking Late, a motorsports podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and with me, as always, JD. How's it going?
Good, mate. Good, yeah. Just backing up off the Hockenheimring.
Yes, the Hockenheim Grand Prix. That was an excellent weekend, really.
Yeah, really enjoyable race, especially at the start there. Wow.
Oh, that race was just... We just rewatched the start of the race, and it's like so much went on in those first few laps.
Yeah, it was amazing. There was no big incidents, actually. There were 3-4 wide in some corners, and everyone drove really cleanly and did a great race.
Yeah, it was good. This will probably be a shorter episode this week. Unfortunately, none of us actually got to see qualifying. We'll still touch on that a little bit. But yeah, we really only saw the race, so that's all we've got to go on this weekend. Jumping to qualifying, let's bring up the results. Just having a quick look. In Q1, you pretty much... It looked like just the regulars that dropped out. Kvyat, he was down in 19th. He's just lost it, hasn't he? He's just lost all motivation to
I
be
think
in this sport.
everyone's written him off, and I'm not sure if that's got to him as well, or the team's not developing anything towards his side of the garage or whatnot. But yeah, he's not having a good time of it.
No, he's come out and basically just said that ever since he got dropped from the Red Bull team and got put back into the Toro Rosso, he's just, lost the motivation. And unfortunately, I think he can do really well if he just, gets that opportunity again. But
it's a real shame. This is he's not gonna be in F1 next year. It's looking pretty obvious at that. And it will be interesting to see where he goes from there. Obviously, he was quite a skilled driver. He got promoted to Red Bull, so they don't take any slack. Slow drivers up there, but not good enough for them.
Maybe follow the other two Toro Rosso drivers when they got
Formula
exited
E.
and go to Formula E.
Become a world champion, maybe.
So looking into Q2, you've got Button and Alonso. They didn't get out of Q2 this weekend.
Yeah, it's a shame. That's because they had 2 or 3 races in a row that they got into Q3. One of them did. Bit of a shame, but this track probably didn't suit their car quite as much.
No. We'll jump straight to Q3. So looking at the results there, you've got Massa down in 10th. That's a good result to see him back up in Q3. Bottas outdid him. He got in 8th with a 15.53. Hülkenberg actually got ahead of Perez, which is good because that's a little inter-team battle, which I think both of those guys have been re-signed for Force India for next year.
Well, yeah, there's actually a little bit of controversy there because Perez come out and he said that he's not 100% signed and everything. Maybe he's got fingers crossed to go somewhere, which I don't think there's any seats open. But the team owner come out and said that he had signed, so it's a bit weird there. But so it's great inter-team battle with those two. Yes.
A quick one, just a little off topic. Say Williams get rid of Massa. Would that be say what happens if Perez could move to Williams? Would that be
a positive or a
positive
negative?
or a negative? Do you think that's just a side step, or do you think that's a step forward?
I don't think it's a step forward.
No? More back than side?
Yeah, I think it's probably... I don't know. I think it's probably a side step. I think Force India... they're both a lower budget teams.
Yep.
But Force India seem to just be striving ahead.
Force India are doing really well now. They've developed their car quite well throughout this season. I think they're one of the better performing cars now.
Yeah, well, I think they've done the most development... Or not the most developments, but...
In that pack that they're running, that mid-pack, they've developed the car forward the most.
Actually, I think... Was it... can't remember if it was the Hülkenberg. Nico come out and said that they pretty much bring something new to every race meeting on that car.
Wow.
And he said we're pretty much one of the only teams in the whole pack that's doing that.
That's good on them. And I mean, it's good to see Force India and those two guys doing really well because I think they're one of the drivers that everyone kind of likes. Like Perez and Hülkenberg, no one really hates them.
Yeah, I think Hülkenberg definitely. I think Perez probably had a few enemies from when he went to McLaren and he was rubbing up Jenson Button the wrong way. He probably hurt a few of his British fans that way. But other than that, he's pretty well loved through the field.
Looking into 5th and 6th position, you've got Raikkonen and Vettel. So that's Raikkonen out qualifying Vettel again.
Yeah. Give the boy a deal and he drives better.
Yeah.
I think that was happening when he was at Lotus as well.
Definitely good to see. I mean, he was a couple of 2/10 faster than Vettel, which was good. And then you've got the Red Bull battle for 3rd and 4th.
Yep.
Ricciardo,
10th
Number
up
3
again.
on the car, third grid position.
Yeah, that was good to see again. Ricardo's got the stellar performance he's had this year. He's only been out qualified once by a teammate. It's I don't know how he does it, to be honest. But yeah, it's great effort.
And then you've got the inter-team battle with Mercedes, and Rosberg pipped Hamilton to pole on this particular
another
occasion.
one, another 10th there as well, and nice and close between all of those, and yeah, nice close battle for him. On to the race.
Onto the race, yes. Shall we talk about the start?
Yeah, I believe that's probably a good place to start.
That is always a good place to start.
Yeah,
Should
it
you
was,
ask
it was a
Ros-
great start, and very exciting into turn 1 there, wasn't it?
It was. Like, Rosberg actually got a good start off the line.
Yeah, I think he got one of the best getaways off the line.
Yeah, he
best,
launched
best
up.
initial traction. He just fumbled it once
Yeah.
he got up there. He got way too much wheel spin.
Wheel spin in third.
You
he
see
just-
that on board from, I think, Ricardo when he was behind him?
Yeah.
It smokes the tyres.
That was just, I mean, the 2 Red Bulls, those guys got actually a pretty good launch as well.
They
Like,
did.
they
They did.
swamped.
And Vettel,
Yes.
like, he just, I think he could have stuck up the outside of Ricardo, but I think he knew what was going to happen when he got to turn 1.
Yeah, I think Vettel was sort of like, all right, I'm in pouncing position, but let's stay out of crashing position.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. The maturity started to come through there. I reckon, 5-6 years ago, Vettel might have tried something that wasn't going to work, but he's very mature these days, and he just went, yep, no point trying to win it in the first corner. We'll just keep our noses clean.
Yeah, I mean, there was just some really good wheel-to-wheel racing at the start of that race. Like, you had Rosberg and Ricardo that had a really good battle within the first
definitely.
lap.
Yep.
You had, I don't know if it was on the first lap, but it was definitely very close. Felipe Nasr in the Sauber.
That start he got, he just
had a
threaded
good
the needle up the inside of everyone
like
after
4
turn 1.
cars. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was just like,
I think they were all too busy trying to drive the car that was on the outside of them off the track and running out wide, and not. He just did a big late turn in.
just like,
late
yep, you guys left
apex
like,
and
it wasn't even a door. It's like a whole, like, 4 lanes wide. He just easy into that position, just straight through. It was
just got good traction off the corner and blasted away.
Yeah, it was really good. Massa, though, Felipe Massa in the Williams, he should have just packed up at the start when he started complaining on the radio.
Yeah, I think he had a bit of damage. I can't remember who
Yeah, I
he
think
had
he got
contact
hit.
with.
I don't know who he got hit, but he got hit. He had some contact.
And yeah, I don't know if it damaged the rear geometry or the diff setting, like buggered up the diff or something like that, but he had massive traction issues. I was watching in one sort of mid-race when he was struggling with it, and the thing was stepping out all over the place.
Yeah, well, when he went into pit, he actually had a longer pit stop, and we're trying to work out why, but he had one of the crews taking a photo of the rear of the car to see if there was any damage that they could assess later on.
Yeah, I don't think they could see anything at the
they
time.
didn't find anything. He just got swamped. I mean, Kevin Magnussen got past him. Poor Saints. Saints got past him, and then he had that like a 6.1 second pit stop, and he just lost out to Massa again. Come out behind him.
Yep.
That's the problem. Like, the Williams, they are great at pit stops.
They are. They're the leaders of it.
They're the leaders. They're the benchmark
I think
team.
they did another 2-second flat pit stop. I think on the weekend,
It was
which
crazy.
is still great pit stop time. The one thing that I love watching Carlos Sainz drive, but he's a good passer. And,
he's got
I can't
definitely
wait for
got
him
a
to
place
be
in this sport.
Yeah, I can't wait for him to be in a Ferrari or a tricked up McLaren in the next couple of years, or Red Bull or somewhere else
Can you
like
see
that.
him in a Red Bull? Like,
Oh,
maybe
no,
if
I do not.
if Ricardo would leave.
Yeah, I just
But then
don't see any.
Verstappen and Saints were already butting heads. I don't think you'd want to put them back into a team in race-winning cars.
Yeah, I just don't see them. There's no positions available, and I don't think there's any positions available for a couple of years other than Raikkonen.
Yep.
Maybe.
Button, maybe. But then you'd think McLaren would probably bring in a younger driver.
McLaren's got Stoffel Van Dorn.
Yeah, and he's actually quite good.
He's very, very good. And if they don't bring him in next year, I think he'll walk.
Yeah.
There's rumours saying that he might be taking Harriento's place at Manor.
Yeah, well, I've been hearing a lot that Harriento might be gone.
Yeah, the funding for his drive is it's starting to dry up. And
See, he's the one sponsored by Indonesian government.
Yeah, the Indonesian government are putting a lot of pressure on businesses in their country to try and get behind him, but there's not really been any takers. So he is very much looking on shaky ground whether he'll be there much longer.
Mm.
And apparently McLaren's been knocking on the door. Not that they're... I seen an interview with Ron Dennis, and he's showing no, as usual. Yeah, there's definitely no inkling that maybe that's happening or not.
The tyre strategy this race was kind of interesting. I think the front runners were almost all on different tyres at one stage of the race.
They were. It was like their teams definitely split the strategy.
And quite clearly, it was like, boom, you are now on this strategy.
Yep.
I think Rosberg got told you're on plan B.
Yeah, and Ham was on A, and Ricciardo got B, I think, and Verstappen got A. So, it was very weird because they all, most of the teams only had one set of new softs to put on the car.
Mm-hmm.
And they were probably it depends who you talk to down the pit lane, I guess. Ricciardo was quite happy with super softs, but Verstappen really loved the softs and did not like super softs.
Well, Verstappen on the radio said this is not the race tyre when he was on the super softs, and that was quite clearly, boom.
I think there's things there, because he is following Ricciardo, he's in dirty air. So
tyres are getting destroyed.
Yeah, where Ricciardo in cleaner air, super softs were great for him.
Oh, Ricciardo just had good car pace all weekend. He was quick. It was good.
It was back to old Ricciardo.
Yeah.
It's like the podium last weekend
Helped him.
picked the weight off his shoulders again, and he's driving like he was like 5 meetings ago.
The pass, the notorious pass this race.
Yep.
Max and Rosberg. Give us your take. What's your opinion? Not what FIA has come out and ruled. What's your opinion?
It might be controversial, but I think it should have been allowed. There's too much inconsistency in this. It's just like the Hamilton one.
Mm-hmm.
When they made contact with the Hamilton one, they weren't at the edge of the track yet. Yes, they were going to get to the edge of the track, but they weren't. There's been plenty of passes like that in the past where that's been allowed. You meant to, he's the commanding position. You just got to yield. It's probably not the best for racing, but there just doesn't seem to be a consistency there. Now there's been a consistency for the last two that have been penalised, but it just doesn't seem right to me.
No, and it just it's discouraging overtaking. If all right, Rosberg did come from a long way back.
Oh, it was a massive leap.
It was huge.
And you have to do that on Verstappen. He's such a good blocker.
Yeah. Well, we saw that all last week.
Yeah, I actually think that's the other thing they've got to look at. Maybe Verstappen needs to be talked to about how vigorously he blocks, because I think it's getting borderline dangerous.
Yeah, because if Rosberg knew that, Verstappen's not going to just jump out in front of him and block him.
Did you see him under brakes?
Rosberg
was coming from a long way back, and Verstappen started to turn across in front of him.
But then he saw him and then moved.
Yeah, and moved out of the way, because there was going to be a big crash.
Yeah, but then do you think Verstappen was actually thinking that Rosberg was going to come at him from that far back?
No, I don't think he was.
And that's why he turned in, because he was just taking that normal line from the corner.
Oh, no, but that wasn't normal. That was defending.
Yeah.
That was before he should turn in. So he turned in early as if he was, because he seen him pull out to make the move.
Yep.
And then he went, I'm going to block him, and then went, his closing speed is way too fast.
Yep.
And he had to pull out of it because there were going to be contact.
That movement by Verstappen definitely would have put Rosberg off.
Yeah, my original view of it, I thought, Rosberg, he's trying to drive him off the track here.
Mm-hmm.
After watching the replays a few times, you can see that he actually does start turning before the edge of the track. He was going to obviously put him in the marbles and,
run him out a little wide, but there's nothing wrong with that.
And run him pretty much off the track, but he was going to leave him on the track just.
Because they made contact. Did they, or
no,
did he just push him?
They didn't make contact. No contact. Verstappen did the right thing, and he chose to go around to the outside of the corner, which is normal. That's the normal thing. I thought that's what F1 was always about.
Yeah, I know. It's just
aggressive driving.
Yeah, I mean,
Rosberg did an aggressive overtake,
and Verstappen's not exactly like a very passive driver himself, so
no,
he would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I just thought it was a bit funny. Well, what was your view on it, Michael? Did you think it was too aggressive, or did you think it was okay?
When I first saw that, I thought, all right, yep, cool. I didn't think there was anything wrong with what we saw. But then when he got the penalty, I was looking, I can see kind of why. But I just think I don't think that was worthy of a penalty. I just think that's racing incident. Maybe if the FIA deemed it wrong, just readdress the position. Maybe not.
Yeah, it 5 seconds was harsh.
That's a hard, especially when then your team makes it an 8-second penalty.
Yeah, what's the team trying to do? Teach him a lesson or something?
I don't know. We'll get on.
That was. You just need to stopwatch someone.
Yeah.
Invest in a stopwatch. They're spending like probably $750 million a year on that team.
Oh,
Get a
God
stopwatch.
knows how much money they spend on that front jack. Like, they are not cheap, those front jacks on those
Carbon
cars.
fiber and everything.
Yeah. But, yeah, can't afford a stopwatch. Or some bloke counting like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi. Fuck!
Shit, I was meant to say go, wasn't I?
So the only retirement at the race was Massa. He just had a shocker. Finished with my notes on Massa. He's just bad race for Massa.
Yeah, shocking.
100 races, or 100 GP starts for Ricardo. That was a pretty good event. And he really did tap off the weekend with it. Like,
Yep, shoey and all.
shoey and all.
Yeah, no, another great drive by him, and he did a great job all weekend.
Good maturity.
Yeah, he's driving probably the best he's driven his whole career, and he hasn't slowed down, so he's doing great. He's now getting tested the best, or one of the best up-and-coming drivers, and he's doing a great job.
What's your view on Vettel telling the team no on the radio?
I'm of mixed opinions about this, Michael. Absolutely mixed.
Do you think if he pitted, he would have made the undercut?
No.
Okay, we all agree on that.
Yeah, I agree with Vettel there. He had, like,
He
I would
didn't even
probably
know
ask the question
the
too.
fact that he had to ask him was like, who are we undercutting? Like, I can't see anyone. I'm on a straight and I can't see a car in front of me. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah, I thought it was funny that the team come out with that. It's just being a driver, he doesn't have everything set out in front of him. The team does. They have all the timing boards. They can see what the other cars are doing. They can see what strategies they're on. They can see maybe they're trying to do a 2-stop and we're doing a 3-stop and they're going to fall off at the end of the race and we need a pit now so we've got good pace to the end of the race. They can see all of that sort of stuff. When he's micromanaging it from the car, it just, to me, it just seems a bit odd. It's like he doesn't trust the team at all.
They haven't made the best calls.
They haven't, and this is really compounding now because now it's going to lead to even worse decisions because he's second guessing what they're doing back in the
you have
garage.
to trust your team. But I
You
mean,
have
like
to.
we've talked about this in other episodes that Ferrari always seem to try and make things difficult for themselves with tire strategy.
Yeah, and I think Ferrari sometimes they try and cover things off when instead of going. They're doing what Williams was doing last year.
They get in a position to
Yeah.
win a race, and then they're like, "How can we make this as hard as possible?"
they
really did.
They just get in a position, and then they're like, "How can we make sure that we can still get second?"
Yeah, you're like, first is overrated. Second's where it's at.
I don't know.
Ain't nothing
maybe
wrong
that's
with
not
silver.
quite true, but it's just, yeah, they've really damaged it, and they need to be careful here. So there needs to be some team building stuff done over this summer break because the trust is not there with this team.
No, and then after Vettel said no, this is a dumb decision. The team's like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
You know, like, bad call by us. Like,
whoops, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
We were looking at the wrong screen.
Yeah, shit. We're looking at the other
Okay,
car.
but the funny thing is, the reason they did that was because Verstappen come in and pitted that lap.
Yeah,
But still,
it was a gamble that was probably never going to pay off.
yeah, I agree.
And then towards the end of the race, you had your might rain. Everyone was talking about a little bit of rain. That never showed. It looked quite dark though.
Yeah, I think I've seen a couple of spots on one camera, but
Yeah, and I think
Bugger all.
not Rosberg, Hamilton was saying something about some rain, but
I was kind of hoping for some rain, make it a
it
bit
would have
more
livened
exciting.
it up because at the end, and we literally spoke about this 20 minutes before we started recording. It's just the last few races, the start of the race has been so exciting, and there's so much happening, and then you get towards the end of the race, and it's it generally happens. It's not just Formula One as well. It's other racing categories that this happens as well. But you sort of just fall into that groove where you're like, now we're coming home.
Yeah, the last probably hour of that race, pretty much.
Yeah, and you don't even have a full 2-hour race.
Yeah, it was managing gaps and managing tyres to the end. It was essentially what the race was. It was not... Oh, actually, to be honest, Rosberg's pace dropped off a bit and stuff like that, which is not great.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Rosberg. I am, a Rosberg fan now, and I want him to do well. But this race, he just was nowhere.
2 races in a row, he's been pretty much
It's like,
nowhere.
he was nowhere. He finished 4th and he's nowhere. That's the crazy thing about it, though.
Yeah.
This is a guy at the start of the year, at one stage, was on 7 race wins in a row.
Yep.
And he's really...
He's now lost 8 in a row.
Yeah. He is struggling. And I don't see him winning the championship. I really have a feeling that Lewis has now got it.
Well, after the article I was reading on the weekend about the fact that Mercedes might be introducing 2 new motors at the next meeting
Yeah, you
for
were
Lewis,
saying something about that.
so they can dodge the grid place penalty. Which one? Like, I'm not the biggest Hamilton fan. I'm not as hard against Hamilton as probably Michael is, but I just think that that's kind of not in the
spirit of the
spirit
sport.
of the
Yeah.
sport.
No, you were telling me about that
The whole
before.
spirit of the sport with this new engine penalty thing is so the little teams don't get stuck with having to buy new motors for every race. This is what it's about. It's
Well,
about
there's no
making
point.
reliable motors.
And also, you can't expect a race team to just like build one motor for a race.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's not
to
viable.
make it so there's nothing to stop Hamilton putting 5 engines in this race meeting. Okay, but there is, because he can't do that. There's not that many sessions.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to stop him putting an engine in for practice 1, practice 2, practice 3, and then going a new engine for qualifying.
And then take your 80 grid place penalties.
Yeah, I just don't see that. I think if you take 2 engines in one meeting, especially for no mechanical problem at all.
Yeah, when you were telling me that they were going to run the 2 engines in one race meeting, I think that's
grid place
stupid. No.
penalties should carry over to the next meeting.
Yeah, if there's nothing mechanically wrong with your engine there's a new engine that you're replacing, then it should be like where they have to prove that there's actually mechanical reason to,
Yeah.
change
Otherwise,
the
I think
gearbox
it should,
and stuff like that.
Like, obviously they can't do that because the rules are already written, but there's a loophole in the rule, and rich teams can work their way around it. There's nothing to stop Mercedes. They have the money. They don't care that they're costing, 15 million euros an engine. They'll just put them in.
Yeah, and you can't do that. Like, you need your grid place penalties to carry over if that's going to happen.
Yeah, because
but
it
then if
really
you had-
penalizes people like, Toro Rosso and Manor and Williams and Force India and all these other teams that do not have the budget to just,
We'll just whip in 2 motors this round.
Yeah, exactly.
It's-
It just doesn't seem like
yeah.
it's
But I
good
mean,
for the
like, you
sport.
can't have I would have no issue if you got more than the number of grid penalties placed, like, carried over. But then you'd probably still have Honda at the back of the grid
for the next 5
serving
years.
their 107 grid place penalty. It was a
Yeah.
record.
I remember at least 105
Yeah,
for Alonso or something.
it was a shit ton.
Yeah,
A few penalties. I've heard the fact that there's like,
That's
they
like
generally
4
take.
meetings or 5 meetings of rear field.
You know how they take the team photos, like if the driver wins, and they've got like Nico P1 is down there with a little pit board thing on there. The Honda did that with their penalties. So there's got like 105 and whatever it is.
Yeah.
If I can find a photo for it, I'll link it in the show notes. But yeah, that was kind of funny when they did that. I had a good chuckle.
Championship's starting to blow out, Michael.
It really has. It really has. I think Hamilton has got a lead. He's got 217 points to Rosberg's 198. At one point, Rosberg was 43 points ahead.
Yeah. He's now
At one
19 points behind.
Yeah, Rosberg at one point looked untouchable. But
Not good.
if you were to take out the Mercedes, pretend the Mercedes didn't exist,
Yeah.
Ricciardo's doing great.
Ricardo is doing great.
And at the start of the
think
year, I
team-
didn't expect him to be that high up.
No, me neither. The team definitely... I don't know. I noticed a difference on the weekend. Even Verstappen was happy to get 3rd. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I didn't expect that from him.
No, the 2 Red Bull drivers came out and they embraced after the race. And yeah, I think they were just really happy. And Christian Horner's come out and said they're doing better than what they originally thought for the
Their
first
pairing.
half. Yeah, the pairing.
Oh,
and as well
yeah.
as the cars are performing better than what they originally anticipated at the start of the year.
Yeah. Honestly, look out Mercedes. I think the development will probably slow down soon. I
Mhm.
don't think they're going to spend too much.
Well, there's major changes next year.
Yeah, exactly. All the teams are already working on next year's car. every team, and I think the developments in the current car will slow down coming, probably not straight away in the after the summer break, but there'll absolutely be some slowing down soon.
We'll quickly touch on the podium.
Shoeies,
mate. Shoeies.
Yep.
Nothing
Ricardo must be an Aussie thing, hey? Ricardo and Davey Reynolds have both done them on the podium.
Yeah, I was watching it, and then I see him. I'm like, what the hell's Ricardo doing? He's playing around with his foot and bust his shoe out and pour his I'm like, oh, he's fucking.
It looked
doing
like
his
he
shoe.
thought he about it.
Yeah, he
he's like,
wasn't sold on the idea. He's like, this was hilarious in my mind.
He's like, I just smelt it.
I don't know how they do it. Like that would, I guess it's full of champagne.
Good on him.
But yeah, it was a good thing. I've got a
Listen.
video of that. I'll link that in the show notes if you haven't seen him doing a shoey. Do you see Hamilton's face looking over at him like, what the hell is he doing? Like everyone was like, okay, I don't know what he's doing. Commentators were like, maybe it's an Australian thing. I'm like, yeah, it is. We drink from shoes.
It was funny.
There's been a bit of testing going on.
Yeah, Ferrari have been
Have you
out.
seen the photo?
Yeah. Looks
Big
quite good.
wide tyres, yeah.
Look like a modified rear wing and front wing as well.
Hopefully. And they've changed some rules since last race. The radio's back. Everyone probably would have noticed on the
that was
telecast.
amazing.
Everyone was like, all right, we can tell the drivers exactly everything, and straight up like, all right, Hamilton, such and such is on these, and they're on primes, and this is 5 laps younger than that. And I was like, this is kind of what we didn't want. I don't mind it. But then they really started to like, all right, you want the talking back, and they were like giving you a lot more information, like a lot more radio I know
Yeah,
the
like
radio
sector
transmissions
gaps and
probably
stuff
would
like
have dropped down during the ban.
Yeah.
But now they've been lifted. It was just like everyone was going hell for leather. It's like,
Yes.
what can you tell me? Like, what's someone in the crowd wearing? Like, there's any information I need to know.
Yeah, it was amazing how quickly the teams got back into it. I was thinking that during the race. I'm like, geez, they're really going for it.
And as someone,
I'm not sure if they need all this information. I'm sure half this information's going in one ear and out the other. Like, I don't care what the guy in ninth is doing on tires.
But you did get to hear, Lewis, it's hammer time.
Yeah.
That was good to hear again, even though I'm like, oh, shit. Here we go again.
Well,
But
the scary part was he had just done the two fastest laps of the race in a row. And then they're like, all right, it's hammer time, Lewis. And you're like, what?
wait, what? No.
Wasn't that hammer time?
Yeah, I thought we
then?
were just in hammer time. It's like, God damn it. I just wanted to have a quick look at fastest lap.
Yeah, Ricardo
pulled it off. I just thought Mercedes would have it. I honestly did. I didn't think Ricardo could get up there, but he did. Like a nice, respectable 118.442 for race pace. That was really good, and I think that's his.
I'd say that
second
was
fastest lap for the season. He got one in Australia as well.
I'd say that might be something to do with when he come out of the pits and Verstappen was close behind him, and the team asked him to build a gap.
Build the gap. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure this was straight after he got onto this new Super Softs.
Yeah, so they said build the gap, mate. So he built a gap so that Verstappen wouldn't say, "I want to let me
I'm
past."
driving like a grandma.
Yeah.
But nah, one of the reasons why I was checking on that, I didn't do it. Is once again, gamble responsibly. Anyone but Mercedes was paying about $17 to 1
Yeah.
to get fastest lap. And I'm not going to go on the whole. I was thinking about putting Ricardo, but anyway, just wanted to check that. But nah, good on you, Ricardo. And he also got driver of the
Driver of the day.
day.
So he should have. He did some good passing and great race.
You know, Max has actually got the most number of driver of the days so far.
Really?
Yeah.
I can imagine he would have. When he was with Toro Rosso.
No. This season, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shit. He was with Toro Rosso this season. God, it's we're halfway through the season, mate. We're basically finished. He's now a Red Bull driver.
So yeah, when he was with Toro Rosso, he was coming from sort of mid-pack and working his way back up into the points, and that's commendable.
So he's actually got 4 driver of the days.
That's impressive.
He got one in Spain, in Canada, Austria, and the UK.
Jesus, I don't know how good this driver of the day thing is. Kevin Magnussen's on there and Daniel Kvyat. Danny Kvyat's on there too.
It's voted by the fans.
Yeah, I don't know how
in
accurate
China,
it is.
Kvyat got all his Chinese fans to vote him.
Yep.
I don't know how he didn't get all the Russian fans to vote him in China, but Magnussen did. No, this is just a good little thing. I mean, like, Ricciardo did great. Raikkonen did excellent last week.
Yeah, Raikkonen's
that's-
been driving well.
Raikkonen has. He's just been doing fantastic. Give him the new contract, and he's just doing things that he shouldn't. It's crazy. Have you heard much about Chief Technical Officer of Ferrari leaving?
Mhm. Yes, I have. Allison?
Yeah,
Mm.
this will be interesting. He's gone back to the UK. He couldn't. He's left on neutral terms with the team.
Yeah,
he wanted to
apparently he's
move
got
back for family.
Yeah, he's got some family problems and stuff. So obviously being away a lot and pretty much living in Italy probably isn't the best thing for family life. By the looks of it, he hasn't. James Allison hasn't been put on a retainer sort of thing.
No, I
to
think
stop
he's
him going
he's
to
like
another
left
team.
the team now. It's
Yeah, I don't think they made him sign a contract to go on gardening leave, as they say in the racing world. You're on gardening leave, i.e., we still pay you, but you're not allowed to give anyone our information.
remember, like, this is different category. V8 Supercars, Adrian Burgess.
Yeah.
That was a big one when that happened. That's like
Yeah, well, it was like the start of the year, pretty much. Like probably
No,
2
it's
months,
just
3 months
after-
into
It was
the.
the halfway point, wasn't it?
Oh, I'm not sure. I thought it was like 2 months or 3 months into the season, and they were like,
Yeah.
and he's gone.
I mean, like, Adrian must have had a good garden for the number of
Oh.
times that the length of time that he had off. His garden must be schmick.
Yeah, definitely.
In little random off-topic news, Bernie Ecclestone's mother-in-law is no longer being kidnapped in Brazil.
Yeah,
Did
so
you
what's
hear
the
about
go
that?
there? Is
So
she?
she got kidnapped.
Yep.
In Brazil, and I think they're holding her ransom for $36 million US dollars.
Yeah.
They're like the largest ransom in Brazilian history or something. I think it took a few days before they caught whoever, or they've rescued his mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Don't get too many people going, yeah, go rescue my mother-in-law. But no, it's just like, come on, Brazil. You guys really need to, like, you want to host the... It's the
Is that
quickest
his-
way to lose. Oh, yeah.
That's
Sorry.
his wife.
His Bernie. So we're looking at photos of Bernie Ecclestone and his wife. His wife is well younger than his mother-in-law is younger than he is. Because Bernie's like what, 60 million years
Yeah, I
old.
was about to say, he's from the prehistoric era.
Like Bernie's pretty old, and his missus is pretty young. But yeah, so she's all safe and stuff. I don't know. It's come out saying it could be his helicopter. Ecclestone's pilot arrested over mother-in-law. This is not the first time
Wow.
Bernie Ecclestone's employees, have plotted against him.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, you got to be, he's worth a lot of money. It's good to see that everything's happened and, you know, it's all worked out. I mean, they're about to be in the news a lot shortly, and we don't know if it's all for the good things.
By the looks of it, they're already having a lot of dramas in Brazil.
Yeah.
Olympics.
We're not
long
an
off
Olympic podcast,
now. No.
but so we're not going to cover any of that, and we've got three weeks off.
Yeah, when's the next V8 rounds actually, Michael?
Next V8 round is in Sydney Motorsport Park.
Do you just use Reddit's webpage, do you?
That's Reddit.
Yeah, because that looks cool.
That's the
All the
Formula One.
topics. Yeah, that's cool. Do you just make like a user and then it gives you...
You just go to reddit.com
Yeah.
/r/Formula One.
I like it.
If you haven't been to the Reddit Formula One, it's definitely something worth to check it out. I mean, they're really good. There's content all the time. Really, like,
It's condensed.
It's condensed. You got good conversation in the topic, in the comments. They've got their weekly ask questions. So if you're new to the sport, you can ask questions. It's just a really good little subreddit. It comes with so much info, like, people posting up everything. So you get all, like, you know, videos from the race. People have their own polls that they want to know what's going on. You get the photos, like, you know, there's photos here of Seb with the new big wide tires, which look awesome, by the way. I love the big wide tires. But yeah, no, definitely, Reddit's pretty good. Check it out. Back to the next round of the supercars is in 23 days, 17
Wow.
hours. Not for when you
3
guys hear
weeks.
this. You guys will hear this probably come out Thursday or Friday. We recorded a day late. Someone went fishing on yesterday, so we couldn't record.
Yeah, it was only our wedding anniversary.
Not us. We're not married. We're not allowed to get married in this country yet. No, well, happy anniversary to you.
Thank you.
And I hear you caught lots of fish on the weekend.
Yeah, it was great fun.
You didn't bring me any.
I do have some in the freezer for you, actually.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
But you're here and you didn't bring me any fish.
I know. That was bad management on my part.
Hindsight is great.
I remembered when I got here. I'm like, damn.
Damn, there's
I'm
fish.
not going back, but.
It's a very short episode this week. I apologize. He was out fishing. Or he. You can't see who I'm pointing to. JD was out fishing this weekend. Plus, it was his second anniversary with his wife. I was in the garden all weekend. So I only got to watch the race. And now we've got, 23, 24 days off.
Yeah, bit of a break. So we'll catch up with everyone once the racing commences again.
Mm-hmm.
And talk to you all then. Remember to hit us up on Facebook and go to our email address, Michael.
It's at breakinglate@gmail.com.
Send us any inquiries or questions or
just any feedback.
feedback. Yep.
Yep. Don't forget to
Check out our Twitter.
Yep,
Michael's
we're
posting on there quite frequently, so get up on that.
at breakinglate_FM on
Yep.
Twitter. Just like, share, subscribe our podcast. You guys are great. You've been doing a fantastic job. So
Thank you for
keep
your
it up.
support.
Yeah, I know this is like our little halfway break of our season. Even though we started halfway through the season, but now we've got a small break, and I just want to thank everyone for the support we've gotten over this. I mean, we've built up a nice little audience, which is fantastic.
Yeah, yep. It's it'd be great to hear from any of you that have any advice or anything that you want us to change anything, and we're more than flexible.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Catch you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.